Have you ever had anybody in your life that has never given up on you or never left you alone when you need help? Well, this is how I feel about my grandmother. I'll be doing this tribute speech on my grandmother for, most importantly, she is one of the most important people in my life, and she is someone that I've always looked to for help or if I ever needed anything. I'll only be able to capture a few things in this speech as to how she is able to help me and how important her impact is on my life and how important it has been. So I'll begin with growing up with her, and then secondly, she is very independent, and lastly, she is extremely supportive. So growing up, my mom would always drop me off at my grandmother's house every day that she had to go to work, because my mom was a nurse, and when I was younger I didn't have anywhere else to go, but I always went to my grandmother's house. And she would always make sure that she always had me food made and TV shows to watch with her, and then after that I would always fall asleep, and then we'd wake up and she loved to play games with me. Most grandmothers don't really play games or play video games at all, but she definitely did, and that was a huge impact on me because she was always there, and it was always like having a best friend there. And then secondly, she's very independent. Her whole life, whenever she was younger, she had my mom at a very young age, and she was able to handle things, and she was able to control her life and not need help from her parents or anything, and she was able to do that on her own and support herself and obviously her husband, and they were able to maintain a healthy life and stayed happy throughout all the years they've been married and still are to this day. She also handles money very well, and she taught me how to handle money very well. Rather than going and spending all the money that you make, she taught me how to invest it and how to put it into stocks, and that's something that she lives by and something that she does very well, knowing that this money isn't going to just be for her, but is also for her kids to pass on and give later on into their lives so that they have that money passed down. And not only is she very, very independent, but she's also very supportive. She has attended all of my games, all of my practices, all of my performances of every sport that I've ever been in, and been there to cheer me on every single time, and has supported any decision that I've ever made as far as sports, or if I wanted to stop a sport or continue a sport or push harder in anything. She always was there to support me in that. And she was always willing to be there to give her advice or give me her input on what she thought was the right decision and the right move as far as anything in life. And that goes for school, for friends, for anything. She was always there to help make those decisions, and she's always there for me to go to if I ever needed help from her for anything. Today I've talked to you about my grandmother and how important she is and why I've given you my tribute speech on her. From the time I was younger, she's been there for me. She is very independent, and she has been very supportive of every move that I've ever made and always told me if it was the right or wrong move. And lastly, I just want to thank anybody for listening to the speech, and I hope that you have that certain person in your life as well to help you get through the hard times and help you push through and support you and be there for you in any time of need that you may need them or require their help. And I hope that you have that, and I'm happy that you listened to my speech. Thank you.